Hey, thanks for the students that Zoom with me and allow me to see their screens and hear their perspectives. I'm going to provide additional information on the current event assignment because I think that we have looked at it at two different perspectives. So what I'm going to do is I'm in a course, my live course. I'm going to select required. And then there's a number of information that's in here, which is why it says required. Your student support help videos is kind of like your one-stop shop for materials. So as we go through things as a course and ensure that we're fixing issues or any issues that we address, the items will go here instead of just in a message, so that you can actually reference them. So we had the file block there. I uploaded that. The video help, MS Access. We'll come back to that because I'll be uploading another document there. But I'm going to go to module assignment information. And I'm going to go ahead and open flashcards. Hopefully it'll open for me. And I'm just going to minimize it because as I was speaking to one of the students, there were a number of students that asked, what's the terms? What's the terms? What's the terms? What terms are we supposed to be using? Then we realized that the key terms, the way that we are used to having them, are not laid out in the book. Like they're not on one page like they used to be. So the terms are any concepts that you have used throughout this module. So what terms are you supposed to use? Whatever's in the module, whatever you've learned in the module. But to streamline that, I had always posted the flashcards, so we are going to use that as a reference for terms. It does not have to be a baseline. It is just a reference for terms. It's a study tool, but I am going to come back to that. And right here, I'll go into the video check-in, check-out, and current event, and then the current event submission. I'm going to click here. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going over this material because, again, I know you've already watched the videos. I'm just going to add some clarification here from the information that's been provided. So you have two videos. This video here, one introduces and it talks to you about the module check-in and module check-outs and then the current events. It says it's any activity where you find a current event and connect it to a database concept. You pick something that interests you, whether it be news, videos, and explain how it relates to what you're learning. So the whole idea of calling it the concept and context is you're taking the concepts that you've learned in the modules and then applying them to the context of the real world. I was really excited about doing this assignment and felt like this is a break kind of from the other materials that you're doing. We're required to do reflections. We're required to do discussions. So I felt like this would be a good assignment to present to students, and it gives you your voice. I've been told that students don't see it that way. So again, thanks for Zooming with me. This is not hard. What terms are you going to use? What topics are you going to pick? It is specifically that. This assignment is supposed to be about you. You've done all the other terms and all the other items. Terms are anything, any concepts, any words, anything that you've learned, anything that you can reference back and get a definition back from the textbook. Those are terms. Those are concepts. No, they're not laid out in key terms, and we'll pass that information on to the editor. But when I say pick something you like, it's your interest. It's whatever you have interest in, whatever your hobbies are, whatever your whatever interests you. And then you find a current event. What's a current event? Anything that's going on in the news. Everything is going on in the news right now. Everything. I don't care what your topic is. Some of the examples that I've been getting from students that do seem to have a grasp on it is I've gotten information on the ICE situation. I've got information on Panera Bread. It's different companies. It's whatever interests you. It's all about you. This assignment is supposed to be all about you. It's not supposed to be frustrating in the least bit. So here it talks about it a little bit. Those 4 questions are just 4 questions to tell me, where did you get it from? There's a few weeks that we need to do, instead of just doing concepts that are domestic to us, we need to do concepts that are international as well, to give you that flexibility. But hold on a second, I hear noise. I open Cengage and I'm going to flashcards because I know my screen opens different from yours. When you do flashcards, again, that's that document that I have already placed in the folder about the flashcards, and it's just giving you different information in order to determine what your terms are if you want them specifically. And I don't want to mess with settings right now. This, I go down and I find all of this information is documented already. So we're on module 6. So here in module 6, using form tools to create custom forms, this is a custom form. If I flip the card, it says an existing form that we modify a new form that you create. So again, that's how you determine whether you want to go to the previous card, background color, special effect property, tab order, focus. These are terms that you've learned. So if you have a question about the terms, the easiest way is for you to access your flashcards as your study guides inside of Cengage or inside of SAM MindTap. And again, mine flashcards looks this way, and I open them, selected the items. You can also print them out if you choose to. You can create a card. You can hide cards if you choose to. Here, so let me see if I can go to previous. A visible property, the name property, the control wizard, combo box, calculated control, label. Let's see what the definition is of label. Can we go back that direction? My screen is always... Oh, there it is. Previous card. So I'll say label. And label is an unbound control that displays text to describe and clarify information on a form or report. So it's anything, also called a label. So an unbound control displays text, describes, or has clarification. So in this case, the next card is a label because it has a definition of going to the next card. So it has a function. It's unbound. Those are your examples. The point of this assignment is to find something that you like, find something that you care about, find something that interests you. At this point in module 6 of the course, you know what a database is, you know what it does, you know that you've been exposed to it on an everyday basis. The idea is not to get a term and then find something. The idea is to find something that you like, that you're already using, that you already have an interest in. My student that Zoomed with me, we talked about, I asked him what his favorite was, and he said skateboards. I was like, all right, cool. So you find out whatever you want to find out, or your current article in or information in skateboards. Then you can come back and say, okay, when I ordered this skateboard from this particular site, I realized that they're labeled in this way, or they are grouped in this way, or they have a category in this way. Some of them have a combo box, so I can select more than one item, or they don't have any combo boxes where I have to make sure that I've selected everything at one time. So again, if items have a data sheet, you're familiar with a data sheet is? So again, what can act as a data sheet? A roster can act as a data sheet because now it's combining all of this information together. You can find a term throughout, and again, text box, record source, custom form. Again, are the forms generic? Do all forms have the same information? Do you look at your item when you go to purchase it as a form? If you're looking up a database, or if you're looking up items, do you see a form type that some things jump out at you as far as what you could enter, what you could type, what you don't need to type? I'll try to go to the example here for flashcards. I am going to... Right here. Okay. So let's go back into the required folder again. There seems to be a crisscross and I'm working on it. And the materials is like, okay, you're frustrated because you want more information, but I've provided more information, but nobody's looking at the more information. So we need to get on a cohesive path and speak the same language moving forward. The current events are just that. What's going on in the world right now? I'd find anything that's going on in the world right now that I care about. Like I said, I've been getting companies have closed down in Kings Mountain. So they answer those types of questions. How does this impact someone? It could be something that impacts your family directly, someone that impacts your children directly. Again, it can be any civics as long as it's classroom clean and appropriate, and these are coming to me directly for grading. It's all about you. I don't know how else to describe it. I'm sorry if the materials look challenging, but I do provide a lot of detail and a lot of structure because I'm just asking you questions about what you want. But again, I have to have a baseline for everything. So here, video files, screenshots, video help, Rob 365. What's that? Okay. So here, when the current event document, let's go and find the assignment. And I didn't mean for this video to be so long, but current event concepts and context. The question is, what type of source did you use? How recent is your current event? What geographic scope, that means area, did you get your current event from? How does your current event relate to data or databases? And again, I'd like the concept of that module to go along. So it gives different ideas on where to find current events. Again, I'm sure you're well versed on where to find current events and what's going on in the world. Probably better than me. Time frame. So again, it says choose one current event and connect it. In this case, this is the example, module 1, write and complete sentences, and include your source links. Your goal is to show what happened, why it matters, things of that nature. What event? Why does it even matter? Who does it affect? If these items impact you directly, and if this is an article that you care about, you're going to care about the answers to these questions. If I'm looking up something on autism specifically, and there's a new drug out, or there's a new finding out, or there's a new study out, that's going to be my current event. What happened? What current event did I choose? What was the main topic? That's going to be mine. What happened? Again, who was involved in it? Where did it happen? When? How does this event, or why does this event matter? And who does it affect? Those are going to be things. If I'm looking for items and I'm writing something and I'm searching for something that I'm passionate about, I have no issue answering these questions. It's not to pick a book open to get. This is the only flexibility that I have that doesn't keep, kind of structurally tied to making sure we, kind of get there. So again, this is yours. I have like 1 minute to go. So it says, which module, in this case is one concept. It's just going to be your module concept. I'll say, okay, I'm using a database. If my child is going to be a part of this study, then she may have a record in the Spark database, which again, she's a part of the Spark study. So she has a record, which means that she is a client or participates in the Spark program. Her primary key is going to be whatever that ID is, or whatever her unique ID is, and they may or may not use Social Security numbers, because a while ago, we used to use Social Security numbers, but because of security reasons, we now use student IDs. How will you use it? What does it mean to you?